Hello and welcome to Community Corner here on the Serenity Resource Connector. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back to those members of the SRC community. If this is your first time tuning in, a warm welcome to you. And we are kicking things off here on Community Corner for 2024 with something new. We are connecting with our entrepreneurs, local and abroad, both Jamaican women making strides in their field as they've turned their passion into a business and they are taking it to the world. Right, because you know that we are not just local, we are global. And who better to partner with us for this in terms of sponsorship than Juicy Patties, who are also not local but global. I learned when I reached out to Juicy that they are about to open a location in Miami for 2024. So this is indeed a match made in heaven. All right. Thank you so much, Juicy, for coming on board. True community champions. Want to applaud the team there at Juicy Patties for always seeking to give back to community. All right. As you join, I see we have some people with us live. Go ahead and share where you're tuning in from. Are you in Jamaica? Are you in another country? Because we are taking this global. Let's get this on. We are sharing on Jamaican women entrepreneurs building businesses at home and abroad. And we have two powerful women. We have Danzi Kitchen here in Jamaica, that's founded by Shericka Lewinson. And we have Hibiscus Brew in New York, USA, founded by Allison Dunn, who will be joining me on screen in another minute. So let's go ahead and share where it is that you're tuning in from, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, or X. On the X, thank you so much for being here with us. Ladies, join me on screen. Let us get into this inspirational session as we learn about your journey, some of the challenges, and some of the opportunities that you have been able to live through those challenges. So let's make welcome Allison Dunn, the powerhouse. Welcome, Allison. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure. And we have Shericka, Chef Danzi. Chef Danzi, join us here on screen. Let's get this convo going.
Hi.
Welcome.
Good night. Thank you for having me.
All right, pleasure. And Shericka is joining us on location from Danzi Kitchen there in Maypen, Clarendon. And you'll be able to see all that fantastic background that she has there. That's just a glimpse of it. You can see that on her Instagram page. So let me share the handles in the comments so you can see how you can follow us on Instagram, Serenity Resource Connector, Juicy Patties, or sponsor Hibiscus Brew and Danzi Kitchen, who are our guests here on Community Corner for this episode. So we have a number of entrepreneurs and prospective entrepreneurs that's joining us, and we want to share with them the journey. So Allison, how did this all start and what makes Hibiscus Brew so unique?
Well, this definitely started during the pandemic. So the pandemic came, I had another business, and basically we couldn't work anymore. And the area that I'm living in, I realized that there was a cafe for sale in the area. And I, as a Jamaican, we we always try to do different things, and we're never distracted by things not going our way. And I decided, let me just open a cafe. And within 2 weeks, we had a new cafe. I had no prior experience doing this. And since starting our cafe and where it is today, almost 4 years later, we have definitely tripled our revenues. And it's a wellness cafe located in Brooklyn, and we seek to spark joy through our signature sorrel drink, which I really wanted to take something that I love from home. I grew up in Jamaica, love sorrel, and I wanted to package it and spark joy through that drink.
What a story. Amazing. Shericka, let's hear how Danzi Kitchen all got started and what makes Danzi Kitchen unique.
Danzi Kitchen. How Danzi Kitchen got started. I left my 9 to 5 job, and after leaving, being at home and stuff like that, I decided that I'm gonna start cooking from home. And from started cooking from home, just in my kitchen, just selling food there, taking my time and growing the Danzi Kitchen brand. I always knew that I wanted a brand. From the get-go, I started selling food. And that's where the dream all started, from the veranda to the kitchen.
What a story. And I'm sure that's just the highlight of the journey. But I had an opportunity to sit with Shericka and to learn about the concept behind Danzi Kitchen. And what you shared with me is that you started going out. So it was you going out into the open and cooking. Share a little bit about that and how
So
it
when
is that
we
you're seeking to bring this alive in a physical space.
So over the years, as Danzi started to grow, we take Danzi to the streets. We take Danzi to the four corner. Anywhere you're keeping an event, Danzi Kitchen will be present. We take Danzi Kitchen outside in the wild. So we started there building the Danzi Kitchen brand, going outside, doing the groundwork, turning up at different entities, introducing persons to brand Danzi Kitchen and what Danzi Kitchen is all about. And that's where we started. We weren't afraid to go to a cricket match to set up our stove and cook. We weren't afraid to go into Mapen Town, set up a location and started cooking. And that's where all of this started. And after 5 years, Danzi decided that it's time for us to have somewhere to call home. And this is how the birth of Danzi Kitchen, having our lovely location right here.
Amazing. All right. So you're both mothers and you are in business. We're going to be talking about the challenges in a little while. But before we get there, share with us, Allison and then Shericka, how you came about, how the names came about, Hibiscus Brew, Danzi Kitchen. Allison and then Shericka, share with us the name. What's the story behind the names?
For me, the story is, so everything is surrounded about this from the sorrel, and as you know, sorrel is from it turns into a hibiscus flower. I don't know how many people know that, but if the sorrel bud stays for a while, it's a hibiscus flower, and I thought that was really special and a conversation starter to talk about sorrel. So that's how I got the hibiscus, added the brew because we're here brewing this amazing drink, and it's just a story about our sorrel. And most people know sorrel as hibiscus roselle.
Well, interestingly, I only learned that on Culture Corner in December of 2023 that that if you don't have access to sorrel as you know it, the hibiscus flower actually gives you a similar taste as the actual soil.
But
So
the actual sorrel that we know as sorrel, it buds into a hibiscus flower that is different from the hibiscus flower that we know as hibiscus flower. And I could show you more. It's really amazing. It's a red and white flower, and
uh-huh.
it's really beautiful. I didn't know that all along. So when I heard that fact, I thought that was really interesting. And then it was just a good story and a way to introduce the sorrel, because we do a lot of different hibiscus drinks, not only our real authentic Jamaican sorrel, but I just thought that was a really good story, and that's how the name came about.
Indeed. And just in case you're new to the space and you're wondering, this is what the Serenity Resource Connector is all about. You're going to find information and inspiration in this space. That's what we do. I'm always learning, and that is one of the things I love about this space. I'm always learning from the different guests who pass through this space. All right, Shericka, Danzi, tell us
Danzi.
about it.
It's so ironic. The Danzi kitchen name was birthed. Me by just cooking at home. A friend of mine used to say every time the food tastes good, him just said, Danzi this bad, Danzi this nice. And that's where the Danzi name came from. Nothing, just mere fact of just cooking. And the day that I sit with myself and I said, what's going to be my name? And every time I just remember how his facial expression every time when I cook, and he said Danzi from Daniel, my other name. And every time he said, Danzi, your food shot, Danzi, your food fire. And that's where the Danzi name birthed.
Look at that, very organic. And I'm guessing you realize by now why they're sharing in Community Corner and not on another program, because we have 5 different segments here on the Serenity Resource Connector. Each Thursday, we do a different segment, but this is totally community. And as Shericka shares her story, we'll hear more about that. But this is an interactive space, so please feel free to share your comments. We have Jamaica Walk By joining us, representing Chef. Thank you for tuning in, Jamaica Walk By. I think I saw a video with Jamaica Walk By stopping by your space on Instagram.
Jamaica Walk By always give with love. When next time when they travel, we have to send them over to Hibiscus Brew. They're normally in New York thereabouts. So the next time we're sending them over so they can come and do their thing and do their video. Love to highlight Jamaicans and pushing the brand, the different brand, especially the woman brand outside.
Absolutely. Love that. Love that.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. So let's get into some of the challenges that you have overcome. Your businesses are relatively new, and Danzi, you've been there for a while, but in terms of the transition into a physical space, that's a whole other ball game, because now you're running a structured business. Yes. So we want to hear, in terms of the transition, how was that for you? What are 2 of the top challenges that you would have experienced in making the transition or in operating a business overall to date, and how we have been able to navigate those?
Okay, I'm gonna be real honest with you, because I love to be
We're
real.
Keeping it real in this space. That's why we're in Community Corner. So
Danzi Kitchen, one of my slogan is do it scared, from the kitchen, from the veranda to the kitchen. So coming from the veranda to the kitchen, it's a different move. It's a bigger transition that even myself never know that it would happen like this. So financially, running a business is super hard. It takes a lot. So normally when I'm in my kitchen at home, it wouldn't take this much work, because I'll just maintain from home and do what I have to do. You can pay your own light bill there because you're under your roof. So for example, coming out now into a space, managing all the utilities, you have to come out, whether you make no money yesterday and you don't know what gonna happen today. So the financial part of it is a hassle. The second part of it is dealing with employees. That can be a hassle too. And one of the things that I learned now is to how to navigate my ship. So that's one of my biggest challenge, to navigate the ship. How do I take control when this happened? For example, I came in the other morning and I had a whole lot of plumbing work. I just spent a bag of money to plumbing work on my kitchen. So to enter my kitchen now this morning when I'm ready for work and I have beer, water, go over all of the place, you are not prepared for that. But these are things that happen. And a lot of time persons believe like, when you open a business, it's quick money, it's quick fix. This is going to happen. It's a get rich. It's not a get rich mentality. It's working every day and working smart every day to put the pieces together. So every day is like I'm putting my pieces together because it's challenging. Dealing with staff is challenging. How your staff deal with customers. When you come inside of Danzi kitchen, then you're able to get an experience. And one of the biggest challenges is how do my staff deal with my customer when they walk through the door and Danzi walk outside the door. So that's a big thing for me. It's now I'm able to take my time to understand what's really going on and how to do it day by day and step by step. So financially, it can be a strain. Employees can be a strain. I faced those two big things that I had to learn how to deal with. I had to learn sometimes to put my ego aside, because as a woman, we can have our emotions on our sleeve. I have to learn how to drop it. I have to learn how to even though give up my right, I have to learn how to give up my right at times and put the business at the front and know that this is the business at the front. And sometimes it can be very tiring. It's constantly going. But you have to understand, where do I cut the line? Where do I draw the line? And that's fun.
Indeed. And can I tell you, that's the story of many small businesses, even those who are more established. That's one of the biggest cry here as I go through and engage with different businesses in this space. And it's not just in Clarendon, it's across the network. Allison, your top two challenges so far and how you've been able to navigate.
Well, I can definitely tell you it's very similar to Shericka. We all face the same challenges. Now, sometimes I can look back and I can laugh about it because some things you have overcome already, but you still continue the fight. But definitely for me, my top two is definitely retaining employees or employee. You can have struggles there, and funding. Like, it's, as Shericka said, it's definitely not a get rich quick. When you're in business, you really have to find that passion, because when things get hard, you need something to fall back on to say why I did it. Because especially for us in the first year of the business, it was slow, especially when we were going through the winter months. You have to really think about how you're going to make it through for the next 6 months, and getting funding can be a challenge here. So you really have to show how you're going to have a return back on their investment if you're borrowing. And most times when you're just starting out, you don't have the data to support and show how I'll be able to repay this money. So definitely getting funding, and things are always broken. You fix something today, tomorrow something else is broken. You think you have some money now, by next week there is another bill. It's never ending. So as small business owners, you really have to be planning and seeing what's coming up or could come up and have that cushion. And when it comes on to employees, that's a big thing as well. I remember one day I went to the cafe, and I was there in the cafe with my staff. The day was going good. We closed at 6. At about 4 o'clock or 3:30, I left, and it was a pretty decent day. And apparently, a rush came, and when I came back to the store, I got a note: I am out, quit, no worker. It's just that's it. And sometimes things like this happen. People will walk off the job, and you're a small
Come
business.
on.
You
I'm
don't you don't
what
have the resources or the people, and things like that can happen. So you have to be agile and quick to figure out how you solve this problem, who I put in here, training up someone else to come in the business and work and treat your customers with a high level of standard. There's a lot of moving pieces with running a small business, and as a small business owner, you wear every hat and you just have to make it work. So, definitely have a lot of challenges. There's way more, but that's the two I'll share. Like,
yes, definitely.
All
That's
right. And love what's going on here. We have some connection going on. So Jamaica Walk By will be walking by Hibiscus Brew when next they are in New York.
absolutely.
yes.
All right. That's what I love. One of the other of the many things that I love about this place. Fantastic. All right. Danielle Houghton, Danzi Kitchen. All
Thank you,
right.
Danielle Arton. She was with me from the veranda, and she's
Ah,
still at the kitchen. Those
all
are
right.
my people.
Fantastic. All right. Fantastic. And in terms of community, as you mentioned that, Shericka, how important is it to build that community around you? Alison, you mentioned that you always have to have someone that you're grooming. How important is it for that community so you're able to pull on resources as a very small business with limited resources? Go ahead, Shericka, and then back to Alison.
For me, you need two types of community in the business. You need client retention, and you also need a spiritual community. You need, why I say you need two communities, because you can't do without these two walk hand in hand. Because when you have the worst day, or when the odds are against you, you need your village. You need your village to push you on. You need it. Danielle Anthony is on the live, and she's a person who will just out of nowhere, when I least expect it, send Danzi a message from, I don't know where she come from, but God sent her to send me one message. When probably me I have a worse day with staff, financial problem, me pitney with dealing with work. On the other side, you need I don't know about the community, because as it regards to workers, you need them, but sometimes they don't really need the job. And as what Allison just mentioned, you have to be the head for the business, and you have to be multifaceted in the business. So you, no matter how you take it, all when them around, you still have, because you don't know when them are gonna walk out on you. And that's one of the hardest thing. I have trained people over and over for the last 6 months, teaching them the craft, pushing them, being there for me. And in the midst of it, when I least expect it, they walk out on me. So, as what I said, you still need people, you still need a client retention, you still need these people where no matter what, you know, say them are gonna come buy their food. They stay with you. Jamaica walk by there on the live, and those persons are a part of Danzi business community. They help to push brand Danzi Kitchen. They help to market brand Danzi Kitchen. Because sometimes we ourselves as small entrepreneurs, we can't find the money for doing marketing. So when a person come in your business and them take up them phone and them video it and say, okay, I am at Hibiscus Brew, I am at Danzi Kitchen. You can't pay for that. So that's like a big deal for me. So just as I said, you need two communities. You need a spiritual community that help you to guide you through the journey. On a rough day, my best friends will message me and say, how you going? How business today? How you cope? How your child are do? Because aside from being in the business daily, you need that because sometimes every day the business come in with headache. So when I have to stay connected to my community who pour on me daily, who send me a scripture daily, who send me a motivational word daily. My community consists of my little friends, my mother, who continues to pray for me. And at the same time, I am so blessed with another side of community. Those are the business people who enter inside Danzi Kitchen. I love those people that God sent to me daily because guess what? They always come with a word. They always come with a message. They always come with something for my soul and come with something for my business. So we need two types of community.
All right. Passionately shared, Allison.
But
Does
well,
your community look like?
truer words have never been said. Like that's so important, and the community. I couldn't agree more with you, Shericka, because we do need the community. We need that support, when when you talk about having repeat customers, that is so important. You have to make sure that you have that product that people will keep coming back to get, because coming in only once or every now and again, it doesn't sustain the business, right? So especially as a small business owner, I rely on my community a lot to help to push the brand, because also people don't have to shop with you. They can shop anywhere else. But when people come to you, you have to love and appreciate that, because they're the ones that are keeping the doors open. So for me, I try to help within my community, just like I'm there with my community helping to do things. People rally around us and they want to see you win.
Yes.
So it's very good to rely or have that strong community where they will support your business, but also you have to do that work as well to ensure that you're attracting the right community that will be for you and support your brand and want what you're giving out.
Well said. Right. The C's, challenges, communities. But amidst all the challenges navigating, there are always some positives, some successes in the mix if you implement the right strategies. So what does those top two successes do those top two successes look like for you, and what strategies you are able to implement to get the successes? Allison, we're going to start back with you and then we move back over to Shericka. Top two successes and what strategies you implemented to get them.
The love and the passion for my brand. I think when you start a business, we all know that we want to make money. But when there's something more than just wanting to make money, you have a passion for something. I think that shows through in your branding and how you approach things. And I have just been blessed to be able to have a lot of people, media houses, reach out to me and want to share that story. They love what we're doing. They see the work that we're putting in. People are talking about us constantly. It's really good reviews all across the board. So when people see that or people are sharing, other people want to share your story. And we have been featured in Forbes, New York Times, New York Post, The Gleaner, Smile Jamaica. So we have just gotten a lot of press, and with also that comes partnerships. And again, we have been blessed to work with brands such as Adidas, Tazo, Vistaprint. So there are definitely some upside, and just something that shows that there is something that you're doing and people are really liking it. And that has been my journey.
Right. What do you think you did that actually attracted those partners and the press outside of the awesome hibiscus blend that you're dishing out?
I think it's the story. I think the story is it's more than just sharing pictures and stuff. You share the successes, you share the challenges, and you show in the day of a life. I mean, it's not always glitz and glamour all the time, and I just try to be as authentic as possible. At least online, you're sharing what is going on, and I think somehow that connects with people can either see themselves in the story, they love what you're doing, they want to support you. So we have just been sharing, putting it out there. We represent Jamaica all the time. I mean, I love Jamaica so much. I have a flag on my store. And I really wanted to bring a slice of Jamaica to Brooklyn. And here we have it in a drink that is nicely packaged, it's healthy, it's authentic. My mom makes a sorrel. Like it's a good product, and we use that in most of our drinks. So a lot of people want to get a slice of this authentic drink, and we tell that story and we continue to tell it, and I think it really resonates with a lot of people.
Fantastic. Shericka.
I think Allison have said it all, but I'll share my piece. My success story is, starting doing business at an early age, and just merely starting with just $10,000 and just navigating the ship daily and never giving up. And after 4 to 5 years, seeing your vision come into life, seeing how every day how I impact young women like myself, young inner city kids like myself, coming from the inner city community that have seen a lot that's happened, and decided that I want to change my path, decided that I want to rewrite and create my story. And some days when I look at the messages that I got from persons, like the impact that you have been doing, some days feel like you're not really doing nothing, honestly. But when you see those messages, when you see a person come inside of your restaurant and they left with something, I call it soul food. They left with something. I always tell myself that I just don't cook, I give you something. So when every day I watch myself giving person life, laughter, leaving them with a word, telling my customer that you can go on, you can push for this. And just like what Allison said, just staying steadfast daily and watch how God writing my story, getting media embracing Danzi Kitchen without no handout, without nothing at all, and just watching myself humbly climb to the next dimension. I am super grateful for that. And that's one of the biggest things for me right now is to see Danzi Kitchen growing and really reaping the reward of it, and even being here tonight, that's one of the reward. And I am super grateful. I am humble. I am just in a humble state and just watching my work. My mother told me the other day that I told her 4 years ago that I would be broke. I tell my mother straight, say I'm going to be broke for the next couple of years because I'm going to invest everything into my dream, and just doing it. Alison said it, just being real, just being authentic. And that's what sells. Danzi Kitchen.
I just love it. And can I tell you, the feel inside Danzi Kitchen is just that. If we see in terms of the rustic background, it reminds me of outdoor. It's just amazing. Allison, you can weigh in on this. When I spoke with her, because there's no music, normally you go into a cafe, a restaurant, then you'll have some background music going on. There's no music there. But just the ambience for me is quite appealing because going into the space, I shared with her. I did a video with her indicating that it aligns perfectly with the Serenity brand, because for me it's you're taking a break to have some food to eat. You having soul food, you want to savor it, and not necessarily the music. There are some people who love their music. I understand that, but it connects with me in terms of the feel, the vibe that she's seeking to maintain, and I think that differentiates Danzi Kitchen from other entities. What are your thoughts on that, Allison? And viewers, you can weigh in on that as well.
What are my thoughts on having no music?
Right.
I mean, you I love that for you. And there must be a reason why you did it, because we all have to use different strategies in our business. Like for me, I purposely want to play Jamaican music in my store. Like I do like a Jamaican jazz, because that's the feeling I want to create in my store. And maybe for you, Shericka, you are doing community where you want people to be able to talk while they're eating and have good conversation, and sometimes the music can be so loud. So depending on how you want your customers to experience, and you said it earlier, this is an experience, and maybe that's the experience you're going for, where people can talk a lot more and you don't have this loud noise constantly, so you can really connect. And I think it's awesome.
And just like what you have said, Allison, one of the thing is you have to know your niche. When I just started out having my location, I was jittery of how to sit in the ship and steer the ship. And because I used to listen, everybody telling you what to do. But day by day, sitting and working inside my business and analyzing my customer, and when they come inside and like, just turn down the music. And I see how relaxed they want to be and how they just want to have their conversation. And I said to myself, I was struggling with it because you have employee and you say, this is this style that I want, because Maypen doesn't really offer that, like a business space. If you feel like you want to run down to have lunch, having some peace and stuff like that. And I was struggling. And it took my dear lovely Miss Serenity to come down, and I never tell her anything. It's the first time she come inside a Danzi kitchen, and she said, listen, I'm just loving the peace. And I'm like, yes, God, thank you. This is what I want. So sometimes we send it where you want, and we send it with a little person to come, and it will drop in a one little inter there. So I just try to keep the space safe. When I do have the time, I will hold a talk with my customer, how you're feeling, whatever. So it's a safe space.
Love it, love it, love it, love it.
And that is what I get from it. Our Kino is weighing in. Hibiscus Brew ambience is out of this world. One of the main attraction that pulls in customers at Gem in Brooklyn.
Wow.
All right. And he also visited Danzi. He loves the spot and he loves the food.
Thank you so much.
All right. Amazing. Thank you for weighing in. And this is part of differentiation, because you have so many different offerings out there. So it's how you position your brand and knowing what it is that you're about. And sometimes it will take you a little longer, because you need to get your brand out there, and for people who are really searching for what it is that you're offering. Because as I shared with Shericka, that sometimes some people don't really know what it is that they're searching for until it happens. They say, that's it. This is what I really, really want. So let me just commend you both on charting your own path. I want to thank you for that. And it resonates so much with our sponsor's story in terms of Danzi. You started from your veranda to the kitchen. Juicy Patties started at home as well. And don't look at Juicy Patties. Not just all across, not just the largest in terms of fast food offerings in Jamaica, but they're now taking Juicy Patties, a taste of Jamaica, to the world as Allison is doing in New York. And this is just awesome, the Jamaican brand, and we want to keep the flag forever flowing. All right, remember, if you're live with us, you can go ahead and ask your question for the ladies. For those who are just tuning in, the video will be there in the space that you're connecting from so that you can rewatch. And we'll also be sharing highlights in our blog post that comes out on Monday. So you can subscribe or go head on over after the live, of course, to serenityresourceconnector.com and subscribe for the blog so you can get it in your inbox to get the highlights from this discussion. All right, so we're in Community Corner, so let's do some reflection. All right, Allison, in terms of the connection that we're now having, we have already established in terms of your location, some of the challenges are very similar, whether you're in Jamaica, operating a business in Jamaica or in the US of A. But in terms of collaboration, do you have any insights on how we could collaborate more? We just had a little collaboration happening right now where Shericka did a little shout out, and you're already getting Jamaica walk by to be coming on by over in New York. So in terms of additional collaborations, what are you seeing in terms of connecting the communities, Jamaica and Jamaicans wherever in the world you are?
Well, I love to collaborate. I think that's one of the easiest way where you can have some synergy between brands. And for us, we love to collaborate and always looking to do that, whether it's through using a product that someone might make locally and see how we can incorporate that in our ingredients, or whether it's having a cross promotion of doing a giveaways. There are so many different ways that you can actually collaborate that it's both beneficial for each party. So things we have done in the past is we use other people's products in our drink, and they can be like a local supplier, or if we have similar products, we can create a new menu items. There's just multiple ways. You just have to think outside of the box and make sure that it's in line with both of our target audiences.
Well said. And Shericka is joining us on screen now to share with us in terms of, do you have anything else to add to that in terms of collaboration, Shericka, before we move on?
Collaboration. I hope I can collab with Hibiscus real soon. All right. I love collabs, Once from it's positive, and it's meaningful and impactful. Collabs can be, you have to weigh them and know when they come and when is the right time. But for now, yeah, man, the door is open. So I'm waiting for some more opportunity to push Danzi brand internationally. That's where I want to go. So continue. I know what got happen after this major interview. So let me see what's next. I am ready.
All right. Because one of the things that Danzi hasn't shared as yet is that she does just provide food when you come into the space. She actually produces her own sauce.
Yes.
Tell us about that, Shericka.
So Danzi is also an agro-processor as well. 2 years ago, I decided to start a line of Danzi spicy dip sauce, and the Danzi all-purpose seasoning, and the Danzi blended season. I know that the brand Danzi needs to reach everywhere, and such. That's where I came up with having my own line of products. I know I can't touch everybody with food, probably with food for cook for them, but I know I say everybody or most person can able to taste a Danzi spicy dip sauce or a Danzi all-purpose season. These products were carefully crafted. These products came to me in a vision, and I started craft. I put food aside for a couple months to work on this product, to work on the Danzi all-purpose and the Danzi spicy dip sauce. And Right now, we have reached 5 different countries overseas that we ship the Danzi all-purpose and the Danzi spicy dip sauce. And right now, the Danzi spicy dip sauce is a hot bread, is a hot seller, and even it's one of our main dish on our menu, the Danzi spicy chicken dip. So we're just pushing everything brand Danzi.
Look at that. Authenticity at its best. All right. Remember, if you're here live with us, go ahead and comment, ask your questions. We have a little more time to go, so we will take your questions, your comments at this time as we continue to share. All right. All right. Here we go. As women entrepreneurs, can you talk about what is needed to have more women try out entrepreneurship? It says controversial, but list a challenge you think is unique to women and how you address this. Very interesting. So it's two parts. The need for more women to try out entrepreneurship, and then what challenge do you think is unique to women and how we can address this based on what you have experienced so far? Is there any particular challenge that you say that if I was a man, I would not be going through this? All right. Allison, you want to go first?
Not sure why Kina come and trying to be very controversial in the middle of the interview. But I think when I just started out, I used to be off that view sometimes. And it goes back to even my staff. I would be like, would they talk to me this way if it was a guy? Or is it because I'm a woman? But over the years, I think you definitely have a lot of challenges, and I'm not sure if all of my perceptions were actually correct. But I think just being a woman, sometimes you have to be really confident. I think when you enter any room, because people will just think you don't know, and you really have to go in with a plan and just be confident in what you're doing, because sometimes people just don't give that to you, when you go in and try to have the same conversations. But I think as women, we are also nurturers, and sometimes we can be a little bit more emotional about stuff, and sometimes you just have to put that to the side and try to do some research before entering any conversations. I think.
All right. Shericka, anything to add?
For me, one of the things is for more women. There's a lot of females now that is moving to entrepreneurship, but as Allison stated, you can't wear your emotions too much on your sleeve, and you have to display confidence. That's a must. You have to display confidence, and you have to be serious about what you do, because a lot of time they throw the punches at me in the air, and I have to shoulder up the jacket, and I have to say, listen, no, 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 not like that. So you have to know when to stand up. And one of the things, it boils down to us not really getting any recognition, really. We're not putting a value for the thing. So we can't say we're a businesswoman and we want to play this life over there, so yet still we want people to respect we. And that's what I see clearly at go on. You want to rant, you want to on your Facebook because we have a whole heap of emotion pop up and go on with it now. You want to rant, you want to be a bad over the side there. Then tomorrow you want to be one businesswoman. Then tomorrow you want to trace off people. No, it can't work like that. And enough of time, even for me. Sometimes I look at me and say, how would I want? really put them together. But I can't. I have to say, listen, you're developing something big now, Daniel. You're not Daniel anymore. You're Danzi. You're wearing the brand. You put the brand on your face. That's what you do for the last 5 years. So now I have to careful how I adjust the situation. And Allison, I know that you can. Our morals, we women are losing the morals these days, and we have to know how to act, especially as young adult. I am 28 and I am seeing it now. It's trending. So we have to be careful what we want to take on. And we have to watch some other woman where do the thing them and say, okay, we can emulate that. We can take something out from Allison. We can take something from this person and we can put them together and we can build our character. So right now we're supposed to be in the stage that we're building our character as woman and not just pulling down woman, just pulling down woman. No, we can help each other. I love to help. I love to see women coming together. The more we come together, the more powerful the movement is, and the more bigger the brand them can get. Just like men have them difficulty, but no matter what, John from the Chinese shop, I go call Tom from the other Chinese shop, and they're going to do the thing. They're going to connect. So why is it that if Allison have the plug, she can call and say, Danzi, I have the plug on tomato because it's less cheaper. No, we not do that. We are fight, cause we are fight out Danzi. And not supposed to happen like that. Because everybody has their slice of cake. And it's not until we understand these things and say, listen, we're gonna drop a foolishness and come together and make the thing work there and then. We will have more women coming together. That's my take.
All right. Great perspectives. All right. So we are getting closer to the top of the hour. Thank you for that question, Kino. All right. So if you have any question, now is your time to ask that burning question that you have, because we are going to be going to wrap up now. So go ahead, Allison, and share with us what's your final thoughts for a female entrepreneur that's looking to get started in business. All right. Men, don't feel left out. We are doing some women empowerment around here. As Shericka just shared, you have a lot more men in business who are coming together, and they have different ways to deal with the stresses that they encounter in business. And women have so many different elements to it, and I guess that's what Kina was alluding to. So Alison, I wanted to share now in terms of those who are looking to start a business, or those who are already in business and they just feel like just throwing in the towel. What's your word
I
to
think I think I would say there are no shortcuts in business. You really have to put in the work constantly. But I think if there was actually a shortcut, is really talking to people who have done exactly what you want to do, so they can guide you, because that's you learn from their mistakes. But sometimes you just have to experience things yourselves. But a easier way would just be to find someone that's where you want to go, and that's the journey that you see for yourself, and ask the questions. How did they get started? What were some of the things that they did? And just see if that can be a guide for you. But you have to put in the work.
That's right. Shericka, I want you to speak to those women in the inner city who are thinking that business is just for those outside of this kind of setting. What's your word to them, and how entrepreneurship can actually help them to get to that other level and to experience life differently?
So for me personally, after boys, this interview is really spiritual because me and Allison up on the same track. You can't shortcut the journey. You can't cut the journey. You can't skip from one place and go now number two. It takes time. And you have to do it scared. Whether you're scared or you're afraid, you have to get up every day and you have to do it. If you are called to do this task, if you are called to even sell a bottle of water, and you say, God, you know, I'm selling, this is what I really want to do. He will make a way. He will definitely make a way once from you're ready to put in the work. You can't shortcut the journey. Just take the journey step at a time. And like what I always said on every interview, put on your blinkers. Because some of the time, we as people, we are very distracted. So for example, Allison is getting her thing done her way. And we're not looking at the years Allison had to put in to get where she is. As she spoke earlier on that sometimes it snow, I have to put down money for revenue. How you deal with those months when the money not make. So sometimes you can't just jump in a business and you watch Danzi and I say, okay, Danzi I get highlight and Danzi I get this, whatever. Danzi been putting in the work for the last 5 years, non-stop. She's been getting up hours a night. She's been up 3 o'clock. So for example, you have to craft your own blueprint and say, listen, this is my blueprint. This is what I want. This is what I want my outcome to look at. And when I left out God out of it, you pray about it and you put in the work day in, day out. I am still in my fruitful stage, but I'm still waiting humbly and getting up every day, because when I leave here, I have to come back here early in the morning, like nothing ever happened, and prepare for another day. So the work has to go in. Put on your blinkers, stay focused, and remember, the race is not for the swift, but who definitely can endure it.
And let me endorse Cecilia. Thank you for always tuning in, Cecilia. Really informative indeed. And that's what we intended to accomplish here, having this talk in this community corner, sharing real stories, real challenges, and amidst the challenges, there are successes. And in all of that, the importance of your community and understanding your community and looking for opportunities, like opportunities for collaboration, because those are always there. So we just have to keep our eyes open and look for that. And I am looking forward to hear more about the collaboration that's going to be stemming from this. And I'll be keeping an eye out for Jamaica Walk By they walk by Hibiscus Brew Cafe in Brooklyn, New York.
Definitely.
So we keep the connection going. And as we're here and winding down the hour, we'll be launching officially the Serenity Resource Connector website. And that's going to be virtual Sunday, February 25th, 5:30 p.m. So hop on over to serenityresourceconnector.com on the events and RSVP, because I want to see you all sharing with us in the space. We have prizes and surprises to give away. And for the entrepreneurs, we are cooking up something over there. We actually have a page there for resources, and it's not about Serenity Resource Connector coming up with all those resources. The foundation of this movement, this community, is collaboration. And so if you have some resource that you want to share in the community, whether for free or you have a price attached to it, there's a space for you there, because it's all about bringing the resources together so that we can grow together as a community, right? And we also have the blogs going out on Mondays. So for those who want to see the highlights of what the discussion was all about, we'll have that up as well. So go ahead and subscribe. We already have some resources there for those who are looking to start a business and you don't know where to start. There is a resource there for you to, some of the things that you have to consider before going to register your business, because if you're going to business, you need to get registered. And if you want to know why, hop on over. That resource is free, so you can see some of the things that you need to be paying attention to before you get started. And a whole lot of other resources are there. If there's an entire playlist here on Serenity Resource Connector YouTube indicating the entire journey in terms of what to consider, taxes, intellectual property, all of those, they're there. So just take advantage of those. Thank you so much for sharing space with me here in Community Corner, Allison and Shericka.
You're most welcome.
Hibiscus Brew Cafe, Brooklyn, New York, and Danzi Kitchen, Maypen, Jamaica. And thanks so much to Juicy Patties for making this happen, for coming on board to share such a powerful match in terms of what it is that's happening here. Thank you to our live viewers for tuning in live. Remember, you can watch the replay for anything you had missed and check out the blog post for the highlights. Share the link so others can get access to this valuable information that was shared here in this 1 hour. We have one person who wants to ask a question. It is on YouTube, or if you're connected on Facebook, in the comments. We are wrapping up. We're wrapping up now, so you can leave your comment on the page, and we will respond if there is a response needed. So, Michael, go ahead and add your comment. We're going to be closing off now. We are a minute over the hour, and we like to keep it tight. All right. Thank you again, ladies. Thank you all for tuning in, and you have a fantastic rest of the night. God bless.
God bless. Bye, Allison.
Bye. We'll connect.
Yes.